a good life when they reach 18. We, the Brothers of the Sacred Heart, are very grateful to Archbishop Gomez and to your pastor, Father Lee, for allowing us to make this presentation to you today. We have schools in 31 countries around the world. In the United States, we have one province covering states from New England to New Orleans area and a mission in Arizona. We are in 7 high schools and have several brothers in other apostolates. Many have asked me the difference between a brother and a priest. The main difference is the sacrament of ordination. We do not celebrate Mass, hear confessions, or perform other duties of parish priest. Our main work is education. In a certain sense, we are like the nuns of old, living, working, and praying in community. A few years ago, I was on my way to give a talk, and an old brother told me, he said, "Remember that for a talk to be immortal, it doesn't have to be everlasting." So I will do my best to adhere to those wise words. We were founded in Lyon, France in 1821 and came to the United States in 1847. In 1931, we opened our first school in Uganda, East Africa. We now have schools in 6 countries there: Lesotho, Mozambique, Kenya, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. And also we have a school in the Philippines. Our school in Amatongas, Mozambique, was badly damaged recently by Cyclone Idai. Recently, in the Philippines, our school in Coriezu, in Digo City, in the island of Mindanao, was severely damaged by an earthquake. Several buildings have been deemed beyond repair, and others are in need of repair. In the Philippines, one of our ministries is a home for street children, literally between the ages of 6 and 18 years of age. At present, we have 17 young men. We are fully responsible for housing, feeding, clothing, and caring for these young people. We run this home, not a school, on the island of Cebu in the city of Bogo. Because of our numbers in the community of brothers, we cannot do it alone. So we have to employ 5 adults. This includes a married couple to assist as house parents. The entire operation is dependent on donations to keep it operational. When our Philippine delegation could no longer support it financially, we as a province of the United States assumed financial responsibility for it rather than see it close and the young men put back on the streets. We are doing all we can to keep it going for them. These donations from our mission appeals are literally a lifeline to keep these young people going. By the grace of God, they are not only surviving, but thriving. We have schools, many boarding schools in Africa serving the poor. The schools not only educate, but are responsible for feeding and clothing the children as well. Many of the children there cannot afford any tuition or pay just a token of tuition. Without these institutions, these young people would have no education, and most would have no sustenance or significant support in their lives. If the school cannot feed them, the kids usually go hungry. In Africa, we have a school in Kampala, Uganda. As like most of our schools in Africa, the supplies are extremely limited, even to the point of not having textbooks for most subjects, as well as not having copy machines, art supplies, lab equipment, etc. Even soccer balls are hard to come by. For most of the subjects, the teacher will write the notes on the blackboard with chalk, and the students will copy them on a pad of very delicate paper and bring them home to study by candlelight or by lantern. On one occasion, the school day was over, and the children were on their way home with their notes written on flimsy paper similar to the napkins at Chipotle or McDonald's fast food restaurants. Just as they were walking to the road, a tremendous heavy rainstorm began. They had no backpacks, book bags, or even plastic bags similar to Walmart bags. So by the time they got to their meager dwellings or huts, the notes were completely destroyed. The next day they had to get to school earlier than usual, hoping that the notes had not been erased, and recopy them. So knowing this background, I would ask you to think of these children. For food, they have never eaten at a McDonald's or have had ice cream or candy. They have a bowl of something in the morning and evening, and during the day they get pieces of fruit to eat. For clothing, they have one school uniform that has to last them for the year, and some have no shoes. For housing, many live in huts made of mud walls and thatched roofs with no indoor plumbing. For transportation, most have never ridden in a car or a bus and walked 2 to 3 miles to and from school. I could go on with more examples, but I'll leave you with a few verses that Maria Shriver wrote in a graduation talk in rhyme for her nephew's high school graduation. The talk contains about 80 verses. There are 5 verses that I believe have a special meaning for each of us. She says, "Will you be a person who's running on greed, or will you be the one giving to people in need? Will you just collect awards to put on your shelves, or will you help people who can't help themselves? Because when I feel lousy or lost or I'm nervous, I feel better about me when I am of service." So think of using your brains and your talent and youth to solve difficult problems, to find out the truth, to make this crazy world a far better place, to make some improvements for our human race. From her book entitled, Just Who Will You Be? Thank you for listening today. The Brothers of the Sacred Heart are grateful for your generosity in these most challenging times. Please remember in your prayers the missionary brothers and the young people in their care. Be assured that you are daily remembered in their prayers. Thank you, and may God bless each of you. Brother Henry, Brothers of the Sacred Heart. Thank you.
미션 어필 하러 오시는 분들을 이때까지 한 3분 정도 겪었거든요. 한국 음식 그렇게 좋아하고 잘 먹는 분은 처음 봤습니다. 그래서 어떻게 그렇게 잘 드시냐 그러니까 사촌이 부인이 한국 사람이랍니다. 그리고 이제 여기 와서 제일 놀라시는 게 우리 감시를 보시더니만 옛날에 여기 사실 때 엄마 따라서 LA 교구 주교자 성당에 갔는데 거기에서 봤던 감실이 여기 있다고 깜짝 놀라십니다. 우리가 LA 교구 주교자 성당에 있던 감실을 가지고 왔거든요. 지진 이후에 뭐 이런저런 인연들이 있는 것 같습니다. 말씀도 사실은 되게 유머러스하고 아시는 것도 많고 재밌는데 그냥 읽다 보니까 여러분들한테 어떻게 전달이 되는지는 모르겠습니다. 일단 이 수도회는 1800년대에 생겨난 수도회고요. 그리고 1900년대 초반부터 학교를 이제 운영하기 시작했습니다. 한 31개국에서 지금 사도직을 하고 계시고 지금 이 수도회 광구에서 운영하고 있는 학교만 7개라고 그럽니다. 아프리카에 6개 정도, 필리핀에 1개 정도. 근데 단순히 가르치는 것만이 아니라 아이들을 먹이고 재우고 입히는 것까지 서포트 하신답니다. 단순히 살아남는 것, 서바이브 하는 것만이 아니라 조금 더 웰빙하는 삶으로 아이들을 이끌고 싶다. 제일 좋은 게 교육을 해서 아이들이 좋은 전망을 가지고 미래를 비전을 가지고 살게끔 하는 것, 그러면서 이 아이들에게 최소한의 어떤 사랑과 관심을 통해서 돌봐줘서 이게 되물림되지 않도록 가난히 그렇게 하는 역할을 하고 계십니다. 여러분들 의미 있고 좋은 일들에 많이 돕고 싶어 하시죠. 그런데 믿을 수가 없습니다. 사실은 제대로 하고 있는지, 꾸준히 하고 있는지, 이 수도회가 하는 일들 관심 기울여 주시고요. 우리 아프리카 희망원에 한번 이분들하고 컨택해서 도와줄 수 있는 일이 없는지, 교육적으로 서포트할 수 있는 일이 없는지 한번 살펴봐 주시면 고맙겠습니다. 여러분들 많은 기도와 후원 부탁드리겠습니다. 모두 일어나십시오. 우리의 신앙을 다 함께 고백합시다. 전능하신 천주 성부
천지의 창조주를 저는 믿나이다. 그 외아들 우리 주 예수 그리스도님 성령으로 인하여 동정 마리아께 잉태되어 나시고 본시오 빌라도 통치 아래서 고난을 받으시고 십자가에 못 박혀 돌아가시고 묻히셨으며 저승에 가시어 사흘날에 죽은 이들 가운데서 부활하시고 하늘에 올라 전능하신 천주 성부 오른편에 앉으시며 그리로부터 산이와 죽은 이를 심판하러 오시리라 믿나이다. 성령을 믿으며 거룩하고 보편된 교회와 모든 성인의 통공을 믿으며 죄의 용서와 육신의 부활을 믿으며 영원한 삶을 믿나이다. 아멘.
형제자매 여러분, 주님을 믿는 이들에게 놀라운 기적을 보이시는 하느님 아버지께 정성을 다하여 기도합시다.
교회를 위하여 기도합시다. 전능하신 주님, 세상 속에서 복음을 전하는 교회를 살펴주시어 교회의 모든 구성원이 고향에서 존경받지 못한 성경의 예언자들을 기억하며 어떠한 어려움도 기꺼이 참아내며 진리를 증언하게 하소서.
주님, 저희의 기도를 들어주소서.
세계의 지도자들을 위하여 기도합시다. 의로우신 주님,